Good morning, Sheet Talkers. How is everybody doing? Welcome back. You guys, you guys are in for a real treat. I know I am. I'm super excited about this. I've been geeking out about this since I talked to Naomi back in December. And I'm like, hurry up, holidays. We got to get talking. But anyway, guys, help me welcome Naomi to our show. Naomi, thank you so much for being on. I'm excited to have you on. I'm like so nervous right now. All of a sudden I just got really nervous. But anyway, so Naomi, let me tell you a little bit about Sandy Talk Sheet. So I'm going to tell you about our name and everything. That way you won't be like, why are you saying that? So anyway, I've loved crime for a really long time. I don't know why. But I decided, you know what? Let's think of a good name. And I thought Sandy Talk Sheet because I do talk a lot of sheet, Naomi, but I also wanted to play on words, like when you cover a body with a sheet. So I'm like, this is going to be perfect. So that's why I thought, let's do the Sandy Talk Sheet. So anyway, I'd originally been on TikTok and then I got off of it. And then I got back on once we did, once I started my Sandy Talk Sheet. And anyway, so I'm scrolling and I get all these crime TikToks and stuff.
Mhm.
And I came upon yours and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would absolutely just love to have you on because I loved your story. And two, I'm a big voice thing and I loved your voice and your voice was like soothing and calming to me. So I'm like, oh, let me not tell her that. I'll scare her later. But anyway, so you spoke to me and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to really happen. So enough about me. Good morning, Anita. So let's talk about you. Tell me about who you are, what you do, and then we'll jump into your story that you have to share with us.
Okay. Well, I'm Naomi, and I'm married. I have 5 children, 3 that I gave birth to, and 2 that are my husband's from previous relationships. I'm in information technology. I have a degree in computer networking and cyber defense.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I work for a nonprofit agency, and we help people that are in poverty.
Okay.
And I'm half of our IT staff. It's just me and another guy, and we keep all of the network and the computers up and running. And so that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, good deal. I'm going to go through, we'll be having some comments, so I'll throw in some comments every now and then. Good morning, Sean. And this one says, hi, Mom.
That's my daughter.
Awesome. Hi. And Dolores. Good morning, Sheet Talkers. So anyway, Naomi, you obviously have something crime to talk about, which is why you're here today. So
Yes.
let's learn about you. Let's see what you have to tell us because
Okay. Well,
let's start from the very beginning, from birth to now.
oh wow, we might be here a while.
Okay.
So my mom is Mary Lou Martin. That's her name now. When I was first born, she was married to another man, and he was in the Navy. They were stationed in Charleston, South Carolina. And while Tony was overseas, she had an affair, and that's how I was conceived.
Okay.
I do not know my biological father. I'm trying to find him through ancestry.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. So that's another thing too. You are currently on the hunt for your biological father. And do you know his name?
No.
You don't know
I
his
have an
name.
idea. It could be David Green.
Okay.
That's the name that I was given, but I don't know that 100%. I don't know for sure.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are on the hunt for bio dad. And so have you've done like the ancestry and the 23andMe and all that good stuff?
So far I've only done the ancestry, and I'm awaiting the results.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So if that doesn't pan out and I can't find him, then I'll move on to another DNA kit. But
okay, perfect. Yeah. All right. And we'll definitely keep us posted on how that's going.
Thank you. Okay, so my mom was married to Tony, and they didn't get divorced right away, even though he knew that I was not his child.
Okay.
They actually did not get divorced until I was 2.
Okay.
Then fast forward a couple of years, she remarries a man named Dwight,
Okay.
and they were married a couple of years, and they had a baby named Jason,
Okay.
which is why I started part of the
Yes.
reason I started the TikTok to begin with was looking for my brother because, okay, so they have Jason, and my mom has paranoid schizophrenia.
Okay.
She's very mentally ill, and her and Dwight did not have a great marriage. I don't know all the details of that, but
Right, because you were only 2 at this time?
well, when they got married, I was probably 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, so they have Jason, and then they lost me. I was taken away by the state,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I was in a foster home, and they were about to lose Jason too. So Dwight decides to put Jason up for adoption. I
Oh,
think
wow.
it was against what my mom wanted to do, even though she was going to lose him anyway. And then they fought over this for a couple of months, and then uh, Jason was put up for adoption when he was 3 weeks old.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and then 2 months after that, my mom stabbed Dwight to death in his sleep.
Okay, so let's talk about you. So why were you taken from your parents to begin with? Was it drug use? Was it your mom's
I
mental
don't think it
condition?
was drug use. It was
Okay.
more her mental instability and neglect.
Okay, so someone reported the
Hmm.
neglect and the mental instability. Okay, so had your mom been diagnosed prior to this,
I
or
don't think so.
okay?
I don't think so. I think it was one of those like family secrets, you know.
Yes, yes. Because
Like,
what year was all this, Naomi?
um, I was born in 78,
Okay,
and this all happened in 85.
in 85. Okay, so
Mhm.
am I correct when I assume that all of that stuff was still very taboo, and then
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
misdiagnosed and maybe underdiagnosed or not diagnosed at all?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
probably just under the umbrella of crazy.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're taken from your parents, and then Jason at 3 weeks old is put up for adoption by Dwight, and your
Hmm.
mom has no idea about this.
That's what I was always told, that
Okay.
she didn't know where Jason was. I don't know if because of her mental illness, if she just wasn't mentally able to process it,
Right, right.
or if she just really didn't know.
Okay.
But I was told that was why she murdered Dwight.
She murdered Dwight. Okay, so
Mhm.
so she's murdered Dwight, and then how do they find Dwight? Does she hide his body? Where is Dwight after she kills him?
I was 7.
You were
I
7.
really don't know all the details,
I gotcha.
but nevertheless, he was found within a day. It was
Oh, okay, so
within
it was
like
okay,
a
so she
day.
didn't so did she
Mhm.
go on the run or anything?
I think for a day, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then she was quickly apprehended, and so what
Mhm.
kinda time did she do?
Um, she actually only got 5 months, 5 years probation for
Really?
that. Hmm.
Wow, so did her mental illness play a part in her sentence?
Possibly.
Possibly.
But
Oh my god.
again, I was at that time, I was not, well, I was in a foster home.
Okay.
And then my uncle and his wife come to get me to live with them and get me out of the foster home. And I lived with them for a year. And then they got pregnant with their third child and
Uh-huh.
decided, I guess it was too much. And so they sent me to live with another aunt, my Aunt
Mm.
Nanette.
Mhm.
And that's who I call mom. She raised me from the time I was like 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, really glad that they didn't put you back in foster care, that
Right.
they actually
Right.
had a relative placement, that's good.
Mhm.
Okay. So, when you're 8, do you remember having a brother, or is this just kinda, like,
Yes,
in the
I
back? Okay.
do remember. I remember actually holding him when he was
Okay.
an infant. Like, I don't know how that all played out, but I always remember Jason. Always. I mean, from the time I was 7, he was he was born when I was 6, just a few weeks before my 7th birthday. But I
Oh,
remember seeing him, I remember holding him, and that was the only time I ever saw him. And then he was gone.
okay.
And of course, here I am, just a child, and I'm being placed in foster homes and with aunts and uncles and another aunt and uncle and
Yeah.
grandparents. But I never forgot about Jason.
Mhm.
Always wondered where did he go? Why? And the family even wondered. My family even wondered where he was, but nobody put forth any effort. I guess because they knew he was put up for adoption. I don't know, but
Right. And so how are you processing all of this at school? Like, I mean, were you doing good in school? Did you wonder
yeah,
about your mom?
yeah. I mean, of course, I had a
Yeah.
very I had a very sad childhood. I mean, just to be completely honest, but I handled it in stride. I guess
Yeah.
that's what kids do. Kids can they're resilient. So I did really well in school, like really, really good in school. I was
Yeah.
not to like toot my own horn, but I was
Well,
very
toot it. That's fun.
smart.
That's
I
great.
was I was very, very smart in school. I never had any issue with
With
learning or anything. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so now, we've got a question. It says, "Naomi, are you from Lubbock?" Which is where I'm from. "Do you have any contact with your mother now?"
Okay. No, are you talking about Lubbock, Texas?
Yes, because
Okay.
that's
No,
where I'm from.
I live in Tennessee, and I do still have contact with my mother. I have all throughout the years. She is now in a um, nursing home facility for the mentally ill, but
Okay.
I do have contact with her, and I am the point of contact for the staff there at the nursing home. If there's any issues or any questions, I'm who they contact.
And, just for context, this is her mom, and oh, wait, am I hold on just a second. Yeah, okay, so this is her mom. And so how old was your mom in this picture?
19.
And you said in this picture, she was pregnant with you in this picture, is
Yes.
that right?
So
Okay.
I'm in this picture also.
Right. And you know what? I saw this picture and I was like, "I'll just wait for the show." I'm like, you favor your mom quite a bit in this picture."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So let's go back to your mom. So your mom is released. Oh, no. She's okay, she's released from probation. So what does mom go on to do
So
next?
she gets 5 years probation for the murder of Dwight. And then a year later, she remarried
Okay.
a man named Charles. So this would have been in like 86,
Okay.
1986. 2 months after they were married, she also murdered him.
Oh my gosh.
She stabbed him to death in his sleep, the same as she did Dwight.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't
And
know why. I don't know why. So
and sh okay. So but and how old is she at this time?
27. She was
Okay, so
26 when she killed Dwight. So I
okay.
guess 27 when she killed Charles.
Wow. And how old was Charles?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Okay.
There's a blog that discusses this that may tell their ages.
Okay, so so you stumbled on this speaking of this blog, you stumbled on this blog, right?
Mhm.
And is this how you find out about your mom
No,
or
I mean I've always known. I've always known.
Okay.
I mean, I even visited her in prison when I was a kid. Because for Charles, because she was on probation for
Mhm.
murdering Dwight, just a year later she murders Charles, and for that murder she received 20 years.
Oh, okay, so they said, "Oh, this time we are gonna punish you."
Right.
20. And did you go to a normal prison or did she go to I'm not sure what the terminology is.
Yeah,
Or
she went to a normal prison.
she did go to a normal prison. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh no.
Sorry, Naomi. Oh my gosh. I hate technology.
I know, I know.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
okay.
So
I
we're
thought it
back.
was gonna be good for a minute.
No, and I was telling you earlier, we've moved, and so we don't have a very reliable connection. I'm so sorry. Okay,
That's
so
okay.
I was going through some of the comments and it wouldn't come up, but there was like, I agree, you do resemble your mother. And Echo says, "Oh my," and then she said, "Black Widow," and
Yeah.
this was kind of one of the things that was in your TikTok is because the blog actually says serial killer. And
Mhm.
it's a serial killer Black Widow. And so I know you did have some explaining to do because there was some people who are like, well, serial. And it's actually
Right.
to kill two. Serial is defined as killing two or more people. So everybody's like, Sandy froze. So let's see. Naomi, just wait for a bit. Naomi. So Anita said, can you tell us more about you? So
Well, like what?
okay, so while we're doing that, okay, so your mom's sentenced to 20 years. You do go see your mom while she's in prison. So
Mhm.
how's your family dynamics at this point? You're staying with your mom's sister? I mean,
Yeah.
as your aunt. Okay. And
Mhm.
so you said Nanette is the one who you call mom and stuff. And so
Mhm.
they don't talk to you about any of this. I mean, you're just a child at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, they would talk to me about it, especially if I had questions.
Okay.
They never tried to hide it from me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was pretty aware of everything that was going on as a child.
Right.
And, it was what it was. I mean.
And did you guys live in the same town that where your mom had committed the murders, or were you in a separate town when you were placed with Nanette?
When I was placed with Nanette, we lived in Memphis.
In Memphis.
Mm-hmm. My real mom killed Dwight in Memphis, but they had lived in Lexington, Tennessee before that.
Okay.
So, and that's where I ended up in a foster home in Lexington.
Oh, okay. And then, so how long were you in the foster care system? Do you remember? I know the time is so skewed when you're a child.
Yeah, I would say probably like a year.
A year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was with my Uncle Timothy for about a year. And then I went to live with my Aunt Nanette.
Okay. And so anyway, so let's talk about this. So like I told everybody, I found you on TikTok. You were sharing your story. And so like you said before, so your mom has murdered 2 of her husbands, and now she's in prison because of it. I mean, not currently, but at the timeline that we're at right now. And so how old were you when you started your search for Jason?
I had always, well, especially after social media became, a thing, I would look for him based on the name he was given at birth. And I never could find. I would find, people with that name, and I would look at his face and be like, I don't really think that's him.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, now I found out that he has a different last name. He still has his first and middle name he had at birth, but he has a different last name.
Okay.
And I guess just to jump into this part, I did find him. And
that's so exciting.
We talked the first time last Friday. He called me. He did not know that I even existed. He didn't know I had a sister, even though I've known about him since he was born.
Yeah.
He did not know about me. But within 10 minutes of learning that I was looking for him, he called me.
Okay.
And I cried. I cried the first time I heard his voice. It was, it's amazing.
So, okay, let's talk about this because so you went on TikTok and so because all you did was you put your story out there, and I was reading some of the comments and they're like, yeah, he's on Facebook. I already found him, but that's not actually what happened. Did someone reached out to you to help you, right?
Yes, a private investigator.
Okay.
Yeah, saw my videos and she found him within 2 weeks.
Wow. And so she reached out to you just by watching this video, right?
Yeah.
And so you just, with the little information that you had, okay, so private investigators, I should have been one in a past life because I love this stuff. I even followed her on TikTok. The girl was telling you what you needed to do to be a private investigator. So anyway, so she reaches out to you, you gave her what little information you had, and she found him, right?
Yeah, there were some other TikTokers that also reached out to me that were local to the area. That gave me information, leads to follow. I gave this information to the private investigator. Between the private investigator and other people, that's how we were able to find him.
Oh, that is so amazing. So you guys have talked now. You guys have been talking almost daily. Okay, well, hold on. Let me rewind that. So did Jason know he was adopted? Has his parents told him he had been adopted?
He did not find out until he was about 22 or 23. He's 35 now.
Okay, so he found out later in life.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And did he tell you how he took it? Did he tell you anything about that?
He did tell me a little bit. He actually found out kind of on accident.
Oh, tell me about that if you
can. Well, he was in the military, and when he went overseas to Afghanistan, and during all that process, you have to show an original birth certificate. And he said that people would comment, your birth certificate's a little odd. And his adoptive mother also fostered children throughout. She got him when he was 3 weeks old, but then after that, she was a foster mom. And so when people started commenting on his birth certificate, he thought, knowing that she was a foster mom, he wondered if she was really his mom. And he said that he actually asked her, and at first she told him no, that he was not adopted. And he asked, he said to me, kind of hypothetically, like, why didn't she just tell me? And I told him she was probably trying to save him from a very harsh truth of who his parents were.
Right.
So I think he understands that.
Yeah, because how do you prepare yourself to tell them? Okay, first one, telling somebody that you're adopted is hard enough, but then finding out who your dad is, who your mom is, and then the circumstances behind why you're here is just, I mean, that's a whole, I think you'd have to go to therapy to prepare yourself for that. And she probably was not prepared to do that.
Right. Yeah, she was trying to protect him.
For sure.
She's a really good person. I've actually talked to her too.
Oh, awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she told me that she also wanted to adopt me.
Oh, okay. So she knew about you.
She did, but even when she told Jason he was adopted, she, for whatever reason, never mentioned me. So he didn't know about me until last Friday.
Oh my gosh. So guys, you have to understand, like, this is all happening in real time. Like, this isn't something that's happened in the past. Like, I found her in December and been watching her in December. And then she's been posting her updates. And Sandra says, I want her TikTok, please. And your daughters put it in the comments. Where is Jason 85? So guys, if you can go follow her and you guys, and that way you have uninterrupted connection with her story. But so this is happening in real time. So she just now met Jason. She's just now talking to Jason. Are you guys planning?
We actually haven't met yet. We have not met in person yet.
Okay.
We have a dinner date Monday night.
Oh my
God. To meet for the first time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so how are you feeling? Okay. So is he married? Does he have kids? Are you going to meet the whole family? Is it just going to be you two first?
Yeah, it's just going to be us two first. He does have 2 children. So I have a new niece and nephew also.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. And so does he know now about your mom and what she did, or is this going to be news to him?
Yeah. Well, his adopted mom, when she finally did tell him, I didn't finish this story.
Okay, go ahead. I'm all over the place.
No, it's okay. She first told him when he first asked that he wasn't adopted, but then she told me that someone asked him how it felt to be adopted.
Oh.
And that was how he found out. So I guess whoever asked him that thought he already knew. So then he went to her again, and then she told him. And she told him the story of his parents. So,
Oh, okay.
So he did have a little information, but once we talked, he had, 100 questions, and I've answered them all to the best of my knowledge.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just feel like for him, it would be so, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to process. Like, okay, so I learned, several years ago I was adopted. I also learned about my mom and what happened to my dad. And now I have the sister that I had no idea. And what's the age difference between you guys?
7 years.
7 years. Okay. And so now
I was actually 6. I was 6 when he was born, but it was just like a few weeks before my 7th birthday. So.
Oh, okay. So, wow. So you guys are going to have dinner, and are y'all like in the same area or?
Yeah. Yes. He's only like 30 minutes from me. He has been this whole time.
Oh my gosh.
This whole time.
And that's so crazy because you hear about these stories and it's not like maybe y'all were at the same place at the same time one day and y'all would never even have known each other.
Probably so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Naomi, this is just so mind blowing to me. I just can't. I just can't. Because when you do like the ancestry and stuff, you always have like these secrets that'll pop up, and I mean, I'm so hoping that these DNA that you find your dad, that would be so amazing, because you
Yeah.
found your brother now, and
Mhm.
I wonder. Of course, you may not even know the answer. I wonder if your dad knew that your mom was pregnant.
I think so.
You think
I've heard
so?
I've heard that he did. So, but I don't
Oh,
know if it's true.
really?
Mhm.
Wow. And okay, so were they on did they live on the base?
Yes, in
They
Charleston.
in Charleston. Hey, Charleston is
Mhm.
beautiful. We've been to Charleston. That's a really beautiful place. Oh, Naomi, I'm just fascinated. Okay, so let's talk about your mom. Where's your mom now? You said she was in a
She's in a nursing home facility for the mentally ill.
okay. Does she
And she's
recognize you at
always
all?
back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's always I'm her little girl.
You
And
are.
really in her mind, she still in a way thinks I'm a child because
Okay.
she went to prison when I was like 8, and she's always just thought of me still as like a little girl.
Really?
Mhm.
So is
But
it just
she's also very aware, like she knows all of my children's names. She knows that those are her grandchildren.
mhm,
Like she's aware of things, but she's not, you know, that mentally well. But
right.
she does. But she knows the big things.
Yeah. And let's see. So what's next for you? You're just finding your dad, or what are you going to keep telling
Well,
on your TikTok? Are you going to
so
stream that, you meeting your brother?
I don't know. He's kind of a private person.
Okay.
He has a really important job, so he has no social media.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like so I don't know how that's gonna go. I know we'll take some pictures and stuff, but I don't know. Um,
Yes.
but okay, so like about my mom, I told you she got 20 years in prison
Right.
for the second murder, but she only served 10 of it. She went to prison when I was like 8. I was 18 when she got out, and when she got out, she got pregnant again
Oh.
with another. So I have another brother. Um, while she was pregnant with Terry, his birth name was Terry. I'm not sure if it still is.
Uh-huh.
Um, my family, my aunts and uncles, had her committed to a mental hospital in Pearl, Mississippi, called Whitfield Mental Hospital.
Uh-huh.
She gave birth to Terry while she was committed to that mental hospital. So he was immediately put into state's custody and then adopted. So I have another brother named Terry that I don't know where he is either.
Oh my God. Naomi, so are you looking for him too?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'd
Oh
like to
my
find him too.
gosh.
I really don't know where to start. I mean, I
Wow.
would think that somebody in the mental facility would remember a woman giving birth,
Right.
there. So I don't know. Maybe that's a place where I can start.
So is the facility still open? I mean, it's still something where you could
Mhm.
access medical records?
Yes, it's still open. Mhm.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got some comments coming in. This is from Joanne. I commend you for overcoming such a tragic childhood, and I'm sure your aunt played a huge part in trying to give you the best child she could give you. God bless you. And Miss Anita has read my mind. Will you tell your mom that you found your brother?
I'm going to leave that up to him.
Okay.
I have not, I did this. I wanted to find him for myself, for my own, relationship with him. And of course, all these years I've wondered if he was okay. And come find out he had a great childhood. I'm so thankful for that.
Yes.
He did. But if he decides to pursue that, if he wants to meet our mother, then I will take him to meet her when that day comes. But that's going to be totally up to him.
Right. And Naomi, you're so good because I would be like, I couldn't contain myself. I'd be telling her whether she remembered or not, or, so you
Oh,
were
I
doing
know
it the
she
right way.
would. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that's so exciting. And you know what? I really do hope, and maybe with your, and who knows, maybe with your results, your DNA results, you could maybe find your other brother. Maybe he's done the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking or hoping, you know. So.
Yeah. So you need to change your name. Now it's going to be where is Terry?
Yeah, I thought about that.
Did you? Because
I don't
we
know.
found Jason. Now we need to find Terry. Because hey, I'm telling you what, I watched this crime show, Naomi, and these internet sleuths actually solved a case. And I'm telling you, you just put it out there, and somebody is gonna, help
I
you
know.
find
I
it.
wish I would have thought to do this sooner, you know.
Yeah, and so that
But
was when.
go ahead, sorry.
No, what I was going to say is, so originally, when I first contacted you or reached out to you, you had not found Jason. So when I was telling some of my close friends that I keep in the circle, I was like, look, man, if we could just find her brother, I know. And then all of a sudden you're like, I found my brother, and I'm like, oh man, but hey, we still have to find Terry. We still have to
Yes.
find Terry. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so what area was Terry adopted in?
Um, I want to say like northern Mississippi, like northwest Mississippi.
Northwest.
Oh, because um okay, so let me back up.
Okay.
He actually didn't go immediately into state custody. An aunt told me that when he was born, he first went to live with my grandparents
Mm-hmm.
and then was taken into state's custody from there because my grandparents were alcoholics. But that's a whole other story.
Girl, and
Yeah.
you do, because I've been watching you. You've had several different stories that you've shared. Okay, so he was taken from your grandparents and then put into custody.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And we don't know who dad is to Terry, right? We have it's not on his birth certificate or anything.
I don't know. I don't have his birth certificate, but the only thing that I do know is that Terry is biracial. His dad is black. So,
Okay.
but other than that, I don't have any other information.
Wow. Okay. So, do you ever, when you talk to your mom, do you ever talk to her about any of this, or would that agitate her?
I have,
Okay.
in the past years, but she doesn't really have a lot of information to give me. She is the one that told me that my biological dad's name was David Green.
Okay.
That was the first name that she gave me when I was a child. But then a few years later, we talked about it again, and she said his name was Roger. So now I don't know if it's David or Roger, or maybe she
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. Naomi, you have such an amazing story. And I'm with the people in the comments. I mean, Aunt Nanette did so awesome with you. And we found Jason, and now we have to find Terry. And gosh, you shared another story, and I wanted to see if you wouldn't mind sharing it. You talked about growing up, you saw, if I recall correctly, you saw angels, or you had
Well,
some
I
sort
did
of
have a couple
experience?
of strange experiences. Yeah. My Aunt Nanette used to always say that I was an angel, that I was an earth angel, that
Mm-hmm.
I came here to experience all of these things to help other people. That's why I'm here. But, I don't know. But yeah, I did have an experience when I was a child. When I was about 10, I was in bed and a lady came into my room. This beautiful lady, she was glowing. and she
Mhm.
asked me to follow her, which I did. I got up out of my bed. For whatever reason, I wasn't scared. And keep in mind, I was a very sad, scared child, but for whatever reason, this female being that came into my room did not scare me.
Mhm.
And I got up, I followed her into the living room, and when we got to the living room, she walked through the door, through the
Uh-huh.
front door. Well, at that point, it did scare me because, like, she walked through the door.
Yeah.
Um, and I stood there in disbelief and didn't know what to do next because I was supposed to follow her, but I was too scared. It was in nighttime, so I wasn't going to open the door and go outside. So I just
Right.
laid down in the living room thinking that she might come back, and went to sleep. And I woke up next morning, and my mom, my Aunt Nanette, woke me up and asked me, "Why are you sleeping in the living room floor?" And I explained to her about the woman, and so she's the one that told me, "You were visited by an angel."
Oh,
So,
wow. Wow. Well, Naomi, I've got a question for you. It says, could your grandparents give you info at the time, or they chose not to talk about the situation? And I'm assuming she's talking about Terry.
um, you know, sadly, I never, which they're both deceased now, but
Mhm.
I never really talked to them about Terry. When Terry was born, I was already an adult
Oh, okay.
because, like I said, she got out of prison when I was 18. So Terry was probably born when I was 19. I already had a child at that time. And while Jason stayed on my mind, I just, while I want to find him now, I had my own adult life starting and things going on. So I didn't really talk about Terry as much or try to find him as much. I can't explain why, but that's just how that happened.
Well, I feel like, Terry, I mean, not Terry, Jason was ingrained in your mind because, you held him and
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have that experience with Terry. That was just something that they told you in passing. You didn't
Right.
actually see him, and so, um, your grandparents, so they didn't even, did they attempt to, have you live with them, or why did you go to
Yeah.
automatically to Nanette?
Well, I was with them, I think, before I got put into a foster home.
Okay.
Like I said, they were very poor and they drank a
Uh,
lot.
okay, okay.
So so then I was put in a foster home and then went to live with my Uncle Timothy, and then my Aunt Nanette got me.
Gotcha.
Which I want to say this too. My mom, my Aunt Nanette, passed away in October of
Oh,
2019.
oh my gosh. Very sorry for your loss. Wow. And how old was Nanette?
She was 65 when she passed.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how old was she when she took you in?
Um, I want to say late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, okay. And did she have any kids of her own?
Yeah, she had one son. His name is Greg, and I call him my brother because we were raised as
Yes.
brother and sister. Biologically, he's my first cousin, but that's my brother. That's my big brother.
Oh, awesome. And so you guys have that relationship. Well, that's good. My
Yeah.
gosh. You just have an amazing story. Here's that's so sad, so sorry to hear that. That's about Nanette's passing.
Yeah.
Well, Naomi, this has been great. And we have such I feel like you're coming in and out. We have such a horrible connection, so I'm probably going to cut it short just because of the
Okay.
connection. But don't leave just yet. I want you to hang out with me for just a little bit. Guys, I'm so sorry that the connection has been so horrible. This will be available on the replay, and unfortunately, not. We'll try to edit and clean it up just a little bit. But Naomi, I want to thank you so much for coming on here and telling your story.
Thanks for having me.
And I want us to be to keep each other. I'm definitely still going to follow you, and I'm hoping that we can find Terry. And I will let everybody know when we do find Terry, because I feel like we're going to find Terry. We're going to find your dad, and I think that's your mission. That is your mission right now. And
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't ask you. How do your kiddos feel about it?
It's one of those stories that they have grown up knowing, and they support me, and they love Mary, my mom. I mean, that's their Mama Mary. That's their
Yes.
Mama Mary's.
Yeah, the thing about it is, so I always, I can say that there are, because we didn't, we didn't really talk about her and Dwight's relationship. It was a very rocky relationship. And so I always say, there's always a reason why people snap. And so sometimes, things like that happen. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I feel like I'm fading out again. And so here's our last comment. We definitely need her back, and we will. Hopefully next time it won't be such a horrible connection. And Naomi, I apologize for that. I don't feel like I did you a good service with the connection that we have. But yes, Naomi, we're going to hopefully have you back when we have more updates. But you guys go to her TikTok. It is Where is Jason? And Mama, we have another comment. Talk about your book idea. Yes, let's talk about your book idea. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so my kids and my friends are telling me I need to write a book. So I think I'm going to do that, like a autobiography, memoir, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think I'm going to.
I agree. You do, because in an hour we can't talk about everything, but you do have a wonderful story, a story filled with tragedy, but I feel like we need to be positive, because you have an amazing life now, and you were able to not become a statistic. You could have taken that and become total complete opposite. You could have become maybe not as successful as you are now. So I definitely think that you do need to write a book, and you have a great life story to tell.
Thank you.
So anything else, Naomi, that you would like to plug? Tell us about something. Do you have an Instagram, anywhere else that you're telling your story that people can follow you?
No, really, I'm only telling it on TikTok, and then now here. I don't even really talk about it on my Facebook, because it's one of those things where only the people closest to me know my story.
Right.
And so even though people that I'm friends with on Facebook, most of them I know in real life, it's just not something that I want. I live in a small town, so the rumor mill and, that kind of thing that you have to deal with. So I just kind of, if it gets out there, it gets out there, in which it might now. But,
right.
I've tried to keep it kind of part of my private identity, but,
Yeah.
But it helped me find Jason. Getting it out there helped me find Jason. So I'm thrilled about it.
I am, and I can't wait for your next story to see how your dinner date goes with Jason. So will you be posting about that?
On TikTok, I will. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So, guys, if you want to know how her and Jason's meeting goes, follow her on TikTok so that you guys can hear about that, because I know I definitely will. And like I said, Naomi, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so sorry about our connection. Maybe next time you and I can do like a pre-recording and then share it. That way, we don't have these glitches. But hey, Sheet Talkers, we will be back hopefully with a better connection next weekend. And we actually will be doing a different topic. Next week I'm going to be talking to Natalia, and Natalia is 12 years old. And so she has a particular interest that we're going to talk to her about. So you guys tune in next Saturday. And again, hopefully we don't have a bad connection. And remember, let's keep talking sheet. Naomi, hang tight. Don't hang up on me.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.